Hello, I'm Diego Lizarazo, Technical Evangelist with Microsoft.
Hi, I'm James Simpson, aka Dr. Unity, and owner of Cellbloc Studios.
James, like a year ago, we were talking about the SnarfQuest Tales. What can you tell us about the project?
Well, basically, since last year, we've come a long way. To give you a brief history for those who don't know about SnarfQuest Tales, there was a gentleman named Larry Elmore. He's a famous fantasy artist. He actually was working at a company called TSR creating Dungeons & Dragons. And while he was there, he created a comic series that was published in Dragon magazine from 83 to 89 called SnarfQuest. And it was his first IP. It was his own baby. Because otherwise, when he was at TSR, he was creating all this fantasy art for the Dungeons & Dragons box covers, the red box covers, most famous, as well as the Dragonlance series. So last year, on August 8th of 2014, I was on the phone with him, and he's like, James, you've been talking about wanting to do a SnarfQuest game for some time now. I said, yes. He's like, I go ahead and give you my permission. I'm like, well, thank you, Larry, because this is his first IP. This is his life. This is what he created by himself, and it was actually published, and he's very proud of it. And I was like, well, thank you, Larry. That's great. He's like, you know what? You can even show it off at DragonCon. Larry, DragonCon's in 3 weeks. I know you can do it. So what I had to build in 3 weeks with two other people, a guy named Jonathan Thomas and Brandon Packer, we created SnarfQuest Tales, the point-and-click adventure game. Why point-and-click? Games that were famous in the 80s were King's Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, Secrets of Monkey Island, the LucasArts, the Sierra games. Those were what defined the era back in the 80s. So we realized Snarf wasn't a hack and slash. He wasn't a first-person shooter. He is an adventurer. I mean, even in the comic strip, what he's doing, he's trying to get the most gold to become king of his tribe. So from that, we went ahead and showed it off at DragonCon, and it was very successful. We were actually overblown by the amount of support. We were saying, like, this is fabulous. And you have to understand, this game we built in 3 weeks, we got voiceover, we have rigging, we have animation, we have level design, we have a story, we have storyboard, we have Foley, we have music composition. We have everything you need to make a game, and we actually give the demo out free right now at SnarfQuestTales.com. It's about a 20 to 30 minute gameplay, and we've got reviews recently from Alpha Beta Gamer, Indie Game Magazine, and a host of others that just say, where has this been? This is fabulous. So in that time frame from August, we showed it off at DragonCon, and a lot of people were asking us, are you going to do a Kickstarter for it? Well, it was kind of like, we want to see where we're at, but I don't want to do a Kickstarter unless I'm guaranteed that I can deliver on my promise to do that. So I've spent from August of last year till about June making sure I can deliver everything I can promise. One of the reasons why, because I've seen so many Kickstarters, a lot of people get excited about making Kickstarter and can't really fulfill it. The other problem that we have with Kickstarters is, especially with games, it takes so long to make a game. It takes like 18 months to 24 months to build a game. That's a long time to wait for that. So one of the things that we've done is we're going to try and break it up into episodes. Why are we breaking up episodes? Because we want to give the backers who actually put the money in something right away. We don't want them to have to wait so long. So our first, when we get funded, our first episode is going to come out the first quarter of 2016. And about every quarter after that is what our goal is shooting for. But otherwise, we just launched a Kickstarter at Gen Con of this year. Okay. We're asking for $30,000. And as of today, August 18th, I believe it is, we're at 68%, and we still have 20 days left.
Okay, so when does the Kickstarter end?
And the Kickstarter is actually going to end at DragonCon, September 7th. We're actually going to be at Larry Elmore's booth when we end it. And we hopefully should be funded by then.
Okay. And, well, I'm already backer.
Right.
So after DragonCon, what am I going to receive?
Well, we have a host of packages depending on what you purchase. We actually have a box game of the version. A lot of people we requested that they wanted to actually have a box physical copy of it because they're tired of doing digital downloads. I was like, okay, that's fine. But one of the good news is we actually got Steam greenlit. Okay. Now, people were asking us, you can be on Steam. And I kept telling people at DragonCon, I says, look, it's not really up to us to be on Steam. People have to vote for us to be on Steam. Yeah. And they go, okay. So as of May of this year, 2015, we actually did a greenlight campaign. And our goal was to start on May, and then in July, when we start the Gen Con Kickstarter, that we would be, we'll have enough traffic to go ahead and bring it up there. That didn't happen. We launched in the beginning of May, and within 170 hours, we were greenlit, which is like 7 days. We're like, well, that throws off our schedule. So one of the great news about being greenlit already on Steam is when the Kickstarter ends September 7th, September 8th, we're going to start submitting Steam keys, everyone. So you go ahead and start playing as we build it.
Awesome. And right now, like, what platforms are you going to support?
Yeah, right now in Steam, we have it for PC, Mac, and Linux. We have stretch goals, but we like to have stretch goals for Xbox One, Wii U, and PS4. We have worked on Android and iOS, but we're not completely happy with the frame rate as of yet, but we're going to try and push that.
Okay, so I always kind of like ask about this, and I'm almost certain that I'm not the only one, about the Dr. Unity alias. Did you use Unity for this project?
Yes, I use Unity. I've been using Unity for about 8 years now. And I've made my home here in Atlanta, Georgia. And when I started here back in '94, I realized that Atlanta's going to go somewhere. I really didn't want to go to California. I've been to California. I used to work for MySpace. So I used to fly there all the time. California's nice to visit, in my opinion, but I kind of liked it over here on the East Coast. And so I have studied Unity for, like I said, about 8 years. One of the first applications I had to write in Unity was a MMO called Bobber's World. It was a kid's MMO. It was to rival Club Penguin. And one of the things I liked about Unity was the ability to basically click and deploy to any different platform. And it's so integrated. You got like a level editor, a world editor, and you can do code all within one environment, where a lot of other engines, you have to do a piecemeal from here and here and here and put everything together. The only thing it really doesn't have is a 3D modeling package, but I mean, you can use any kind of Autodesk product or even Blender. So
yeah, and well, that's something that around here in the gaming community a lot of people love. So it's really good to see it there. Anything else that you would like to tell us?
Yes, you can go ahead and download the first level demo at SnarfQuestTales.com. Just go ahead and enter in your email address, and we'll give you a copy of the first level you can play. It's about 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay. Also, in the top right corner of the website is our link to a Kickstarter. If you can come back us and help us fund this project, that'll be great.
And also, if you can check my blog at geekego.com, that would be great too.
Good deal. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, this is James Simpson, aka Dr. Unity, and owner of Cellbloc Studios. If you want to find out more information about SnarfQuest Tales, you can come visit us at SnarfQuestTales.com, Facebook.com/SnarfQuestTales, and at SnarfQuest Tales for Twitter. Thank you very much.